Do you realize how cool I have to think something is for me to buy a bucket hat version of it? I absolutely hate hats, and bucket hats especially, but I might be changing my mind on that. And also, I have despised this style of t-shirt my entire life. Never wanted one of these for any location I've ever been to. But Pat Bev, he earned it. And that is what fandom does to a person, which is the word that I'm going to be looking into changing today. And that is our English alteration, the word fan. Because I think we can do better, and thankfully for us all, I think I've already done better with a new version for it. I will only be changing this version of fan, where it's simply like a supporter. However, that version of fan, heyo, is going to keep its functionality. It can just chill. I don't have any beef with the object of fan or the action of fanning. However, being a fan, I think, can be improved. And the word that I am going to be creating and adjusting fan to solve this is sapir. And before I go into the reasoning for sapir, because there's actually a lot of different elements working there, I want to give a quick, unsponsored, unpaid, genuine shout out to jakesgraphs, which is contributing to everything I wore today. I've got the bucket hat, the shirt. I've got 5 shirts that I'm going to wear periodically through the video over here as well. Makes the best Timberwolves gear I've ever seen, perfectly capturing awesome moments throughout the season and into a co-flow within the team. I know this is a really niche shout out here, but awesome Timberwolves merchandise. Really appreciate what he does. Also a great follow on Twitter, really funny. So I wanted to give him a quick shout out because I had never purchased anything from him before, just spent a lot of money on getting all of these for my first order, and I am super satisfied, really excited about it all. And I am absolutely a sapir of his. So the concepts that went into the creation of sapir. First off, we have support. That is the main function of a fan and what they should be doing and what they want to do, essentially. So support is how we get to the start. Another thing working with that start of SUP, though, is super. It can supercharge the people that they are cheering on, and it really elevates things for the people that they are being the fans and being the sapirs of. And notice I did mention cheering right there, which also contributes to the ending of sapir, because that's what fans do. They cheer on whatever they are a fan and now a sapir of. Something that shares that same ending, however, is peer, and that can also be an aspect of fans, because there's one variation where you are someone's peer and you're like at their equal level, and in a lot of those moments you are a fan of your peers that can do things that are impressive and that you don't think you could do, or that you just think are admirable in some way. Then there's the other side of peer, which is probably more fitting to how most fan relationships work, and peer is a version of looking at something and not really being involved, but seeing from afar, which is a lot what fans do at times. They're not usually directly involved, sometimes they can be, but they are watching nonetheless. So you can see how all of these concepts are really wrapped in to sapir. And so that's the synopsis of sapir and how we got there. Make sure to upgrade your vocabulary and act accordingly. As a sapir myself, I am sure hoping that the Timberwolves can take care of business today in the play-in game against the Clippers. If they do make the playoffs, I'll probably try to go to a playoff game. That would be super exciting. Plus, I got to show off my jakesgraphs merch because we the ones, Jack. Wolves back. Come on, baby. And honestly, Bucket Hat Kyle might be here to stay. I kind of dig this look. Never liked bucket hats, but, Jalen Noel, he did it for me. Which is so funny that I got 2 things of Jalen Noel apparel, including one of my least favorite items of clothing in general. And it's for a guy who, doesn't even play in every game that we have. He's pretty far down in the depth chart. But I think he's an awesome player, and I see great potential in him. So, I'm still supporting him, but it's funny that, I'm really spending it up for a guy who doesn't even get that many minutes, really. But appreciate Jalen Noel and the buckets he supplies for sure. Let's move on to our comment of the day. Comment of the day comes from, whoa, what do you know, Gavin. He says, you sorta gotta never learned. Same, always had a buzz. I might grow it out eventually. Not sure when, though. Too much more. Not a fan of sortaires. Seems like we're maybe missing a couple words in this comment from Gavin, but I have the general sense. It's maybe a little similar to a never learned, but like of course I know how to use a sortaire, it's just that I didn't do it frequently. So it has nothing to do with knowledge, it's more just like actual usage. So they're different in that way. But I agree with most of what you had to say here. However, it was a little clunky and kind of awkward to read and just structured not that great. So we're just gonna give it a 41 out of 98. On to our song of the day, which I'm realizing right now I very easily could have picked one of the songs that I have that has wolves in the title, or especially Raised by Wolves, which is like their current theme, but I did not. I chose Stan by Eminem, which is still a really good choice for today, since that is like a very over-the-top superior, and I assume this is also the source of the phrase stan, like being a stand for something, because that's essentially just an extremely invested, over-the-top superior. And I probably don't have to talk about Stan too much, it's incredibly popular, but it's a deep, depressing, desperate attempt of a superior to reach Eminem, and then by the time Eminem responds, it's of course too late, and it is really just a masterpiece of a song. Then for our video of the day, I wanted to pick like a good Timberwolves clip since I am a huge superior of them, so I just picked one of Anthony Edwards' great sound bites and just picked a press conference from a couple weeks ago. In this one, he says swag just so many times, and this is kind of the establishment of the swag club, like the last t-shirt that I wear in this video. And I love listening to Anthony Edwards talk and all about the swag that this team has going on now, and I got all this swag to roll with it, baby. Wolves back, we them ones, Jack.